Today is once again a very special episode where we're talking with Babs van der Hoeven, known online as Drakenlicht Illustraties, and we talk about our journey as artists. How do we grow and find our place in the creative world? What role do conventions play in that development, and how do you even begin from scratch when you're entering a field filled with competition, sometimes friendly, sometimes not so much? We'll talk about finding your voice and building connections and navigating competition and what it really means to grow as an artist. So with all that said, welcome back to another Butcher Shop. Alright, so I have in the show today Babs van der Hoeven, and she is online. She's also known as Drakenlicht Illustraties for my Dutchies and for my American listeners. Basically, we can translate it as Drakenlicht Illustrations, and it sounds whimsical as fuck to begin with. Hi Babs, how you doing?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a bit chaotic, but if you've ever listened to more episodes, you know that like the first 5 minutes, I'm always all over the place.
Yes.
And then I sort of ease into things. So, yeah, let's dive straight in because we are a few days before one of the biggest conventions here in the Netherlands called Castelfest. Are you going?
I am not going, but I have heard of it, of course.
Oh my God.
Yes, I know. It's been on my wish list for so long, but I have never had the chance yet.
But have you ever gone as a visitor?
No, it's basically the same. It's a bit far away from me, so I know I'm gonna like it. It's gonna be amazing. But it's always like, it's suddenly the next weekend. And then, oh, I should have planned this. Oh, it's sold out. Okay, well, maybe next year.
Suddenly there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just because it's
Yes.
far away. But I know it's amazing.
It is. You know what? It's been 15 years for me as well. So I'm both excited and anxious and like everything in between. But yeah, you know what? Before we, I always have this sort of, yeah, I dive straight in, but I forget to ask the important questions. So I asked how you're doing, but another very important thing is, how do we know you? How should people know you?
Oh, yes, of course. So I run a business called Drakenlicht Illustraties, as you said. It's a small business. I started the business in 2024. I wanted to do more with art. I have never really found my place career-wise, so I said, let's do something creative. I've always been drawing. And then I said, I'm just gonna try and make a business out of it because I really like it. So I started bringing a little bit more fantasy into my life and magic, and that's the things that I really like to draw. And I'm kind of figuring it out on the go. I just said to myself, I'm gonna go for it. Let's not wait until I'm a professional business. Let's just, well, as I said, figure
Let's
it out on
become
the go.
the professional business.
Yes.
I love that, really, I do.
Yeah, it still feels a bit small as a small. Yeah, well, I'm still growing, but yeah, it's going. It's going well, I think.
I am so surprised hearing you say this because to me, you are like one of those veterans that has been a small business for like years and years, and now you've dabbled into the world of conventions for like it's still a couple of years, but dude, your company's like 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah, it's only been 2.5 years. Yeah, so it feels very new.
You give off the vibe as a veteran. So
Oh, that's a compliment. That's nice.
it is. But okay, but is this a random decision? You just suddenly woke up one day and thought I'm going to be an artist, or like was there something going on before that? Did you study art? Like what role has art played in your life?
I think it's always been a hobby of mine. I've been drawing since I can remember, since I was very small, but very little, every few weeks or something. But the interest has always been there. And when I was finished with my studies, I was looking for a job, but the job market wasn't really good when I got my graduation. So
What did you study?
I did psychology first, and then communication sciences as a master's. So it's very theoretical. It's not really creative at all. So after doing the studies, I realized, wait, there is something creative missing in my life. I need something creative back into it. And then looking for a job, didn't really work. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to do more creative things in my life and make it into a business.
That's fascinating.
I think I had half a year of getting to a company, to my business, where I just gave myself the freedom to really start drawing again. So that's half a year. And then I just said to myself, let's make it even more serious and make it into a business.
That's awesome. And for a minute here, like I kind of want to stick to this for a minute, because I know that like for our viewers and listeners, I know the subject of the episode is leaning into conventions, making a living as an artist doing conventions. But this is really fascinating because I have so many questions and I'm going to ask them all at once.
Okay, hit me.
No, but I'm just curious because, I mean, how did you choose the medium? Because when I browse around your work, I see a lot of watercolors. I think color pencils as well. I see some digital stuff, or
yes.
Like how did you choose? How did you choose what you wanted to be? Because obviously, like, I'm not going to say art was new for you, but art had to define its place in your life. And I don't know, this sounds so amazing, but it's just like you woke up and like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it my best. And like, I'm going to do this. And then all of a sudden it's happening. Like, how did you navigate your way through the choices you had to make, all the way up to here?
Yeah, it's a good one. I think a lot of things for me, I just go with the flow. It's a very cheesy, easy answer maybe, but I try to go where the flow takes me. So when I decided, okay, I need more creativity in my life, I signed up for a drawing course, an online drawing course, because it was still pandemic times there, so everything had to be online. And that was a really good course because it focused on conceptualizing and sketching and the whole process from the idea in your head until a finished artwork. So I got the right thing in the flow of getting the professional feel of the idea in your head to a finished artwork rather than just sketching a little bit. So that course was a really good starting point. I just started building from there. So in the course, I tried a few mediums. I tried East Indian ink for the first time. So it's a little bit of a tricky medium to get into, but I gave it my all. And from there, I thought, okay, so I like the very liquid mediums a bit more than the a bit heavier ones like acrylic paint. So, okay, let's lean into that. So from East Indian ink, I went a little bit more to watercolor again, which is also relevant actually. I do not do digital art at all. I'm a purely traditional artist. Yeah, I edit my work in Photoshop and I erase a few mistakes because they're bound to happen on paper and you don't have Control-Z to edit them out.
Clone stamp for life.
So yeah, I do need to edit my work in Photoshop a little bit, but that's the only digital thing I do. But yeah, it just started going from there. It started growing. I started posting my work online, on social media. And then I thought, well, what am I gonna do with it? I want to take it further. People are taking a little bit of an interest, so maybe I could sell something. Maybe I can make an artwork for someone's birthday. It started growing organically, I would say.
That's lovely. So commissions are, can I say that commissions are like the first step of growth, or?
Yeah, I think so. Well, even before that, it was gifts. So just gifts from me, from my own self. Well, people still didn't know I was doing art yet. And then came commissions, I think. And then what came then? I think then it was making products. So how can I put my design? How can I make it into something people can actually buy without having to buy the original artwork?
And that's a whole different ballgame, I've learned, because you can draw a picture, but not every picture really lends itself to be put on something.
Yes, that's true.
Ask me how I know. It's wild to think, like,
struggle.
Yeah, and it's so weird because an illustration can be so incredibly good, and then you put it on a mug or on a t-shirt, and you're like, ooh.
Yep, and it's actually the process getting there is actually also very difficult. Like even how to digitalize art and how to edit them, and there's different ways of editing different products. It's a whole different world.
Yeah. And then we're not even talking about marketing items, because I don't even want to talk about it because it makes me depressed. I don't want to talk about marketing.
I know.
But here we are.
I haven't found out a way to do it at all.
Well, I think you have, and that way we are leaning into the subject of the episode, because I think one of the most efficient ways of marketing your products and your art is by going to conventions. And I mean, feel free to disagree with me, but I think I might have a point there.
Yes, no, you're right. That's true.
I love hearing that I'm right. No, honestly though, I mean, your company is like 2.5 years old. Have you gone to conventions from the beginning, or did that come later?
I think my first one was in February last year, so it took me a year to go. Yeah, I was first getting more acquainted with the, I would say, online community. I don't know if that's correct, but being on Instagram and following other artists, and then you kind of get in the space of people sharing about markets, and then I think, oh, maybe that would be nice for me. But for a market, for a convention like this, it's really important that you sign up in advance.
Yes.
You cannot really sign up for a convention like, this weekend is Castlefest, let's go.
Yeah, that you just arrive at the convention with your suitcases packed. You're like, hey, can I sell some stuff here? That'd be nice, though.
Yeah, so no, it took a while for me to get into it. And then I did a lot of research, actually, of where I wanted to start, because I was only doing it for a year and I didn't want to go too big with a convention. I wanted to stay close to home and with a small convention, just to try it out if it was actually really for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, so I get the close to home, point, because you just save a lot on fuels, your car, like travel expenses. But the smaller cons, I mean, the smaller the con, the less public there is, the less chances of selling your work. So to me, in my mind, it sounds weird that people would focus on the smaller cons, but I'm pretty sure you have a reason.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, so I did do my research, as I said, and I felt like I wanted to give it an honest try, but I absolutely did not focus on making money, or it was okay if I had a loss. It was going to be an investment. I just wanted to test the waters, I think. I just remember very clearly that I wanted to know if building up a booth would be for me. Like, how do I practically, like, if you think about it, you get a table, a clean, empty table. What do you do with it? I just remember so clearly that I wanted to figure out, okay, so do I need tablecloth? Do I need displays? What goes into a market? And then I wanted to have all the rest to figure it out. And if you go to a really big one for your first one, I could have done more research, of course, but still, I'm a person that wants to feel something out before I actually know what it's like. So I think, that's really why I wanted to do a small one.
Actually, like the way you explain it now, it kind of makes sense, because thinking back of a couple of the bigger cons that I've done, mind you, I've been doing conventions for, I think, more than 15 years at this point. It's not back to back or anything, but I've been in this game for a while. And I remember my first cons being a very, very old edition of Castlefest and Elfia. And I was there and I had a market booth and I had a tablecloth. Uh-huh. And my sentence stops there. Like, that's what I had. I had a tablecloth and I had my products and I just laid it out on the table.
Yeah.
And thinking back, I weep.
But still,
I am ashamed. I know. Of course, you got to start somewhere. Yeah. But when I look at my booth now, many hours and, mind you, many, many euros later, because, and that's my whole point, like the investment you have to make to start up your booth, to create, turn that table into a palace, that it's insane.
Yes.
So I can totally understand you, like, testing the waters in smaller cons where people don't come out to build castles, but just simply fill out a table, sell from the table, have that be your sort of headquarters for the day. It actually sounds a lot, it makes a lot more sense than what I did back in the day. So I got to give you that one.
I think both methods are very valid. And yeah, you learn from both of them. Maybe your first one was like extremely successful money-wise, or you made a few €100 for your first market. I don't know, but that counts for a lot too.
Yeah, that's true. And back in the day, I was making chainmail jewelry, and from the chainmail jewelry, I went into like this whole cabinet of curiosity things where I did taxidermy. I did some sculpture pieces, and then
Whoa.
Yeah,
I never knew. This is super cool.
I've done so many weird things, and the funny thing is, the more I think about it, I have always been somebody who wanted her own business, and I've always. I think ever since I was a little kid, I've tried to come up with products that people would be interested in. So I remember in primary school, I would draw your favorite Pokemon for 1 gulden, it was back then, or €1 basically. Or later on, I would make a portrait of you, but as a Super Saiyan. You know, I would always come up with these weird ideas, and I would just do it for like whatever, pocket money. And then as I got older, you know, obviously it got more serious. And then after that cabinet of curiosities, I decided, you know, it's too much effort. The return on investment is really not that big. It's not good enough. I was still studying. You know, I went to Finland for a year, so I had to leave a lot of stuff behind. And so when I came back from my trip to Finland, I started focusing on doing workshops. And today, workshops are a big chunk of my income as an artist. You know, next to doing conventions, you know, and just selling products. So if I'm honest to myself, I think where I am now really has been the journey of 20 plus years. And it's crazy to think about that. And then to compare that with you, who started 2 years ago and have such a clear idea of, you know, what you want to do, and doing all the research of how you want to do it. I'm like, I'm kind of jealous, but at the same time, I also think this is a very good example of how everyone's journey is different.
Yeah. I agree. And it's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to be on your podcast, because I do feel like, yeah, there's differences in artists and in businesses. And I feel like I just started out, but to you, it already kind of feels like I'm a professional and a veteran as well. So I wanted to share like this part of my journey that can maybe relate to someone else as well. Yeah, but it's really interesting to hear how long you've been doing this, and also how much you've changed. And you started with chainmail on your first convention. That's super cool. I would have never guessed.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
and it was really I was really competitive, because back then there was this other company who made like jewelry from chainmail, and they had these really big rings, and I always thought, well, you know what, I'm gonna do what you do, but then with like 1 or 2 millimeter rings, so it's gonna be like actual jewelry. And I was, you know, I was a bit competitive. And I think I've kind of chilled down.
Yeah, I think there was a reason that they use bigger rings.
No, actually, it's not really, because a lot of traditional jewelry is actually based on especially the more Persian designs of chainmail. And so as long as the ratio between the size of the ring and the thickness of the material is correct, you can work with 1, 2, 3 millimeters. It doesn't matter, but there's this ratio. And wow, I mean, I don't want to go all into like the chainmail techniques, but here I am talking about chainmail. It's
interesting.
But but just to sort of emphasize, like I was young and I was stupid and I was super competitive, and I also realized that if you go to the same convention for 2 years in a row and you have nothing but the same stuff with you, people have already seen what you have and they will skip you. They will walk right past you. And I think that was the first realization that I had. And why I ultimately switched to, you know, the whole cabinet of curiosities thing is because that was such a wide variety of things, you know, taxidermy, illustrations, sculptures. Like I had something different on my table every time I did a convention. And every time people would come by curious about, oh, what is she going to have on her table this time? And that feeling, like that piece of knowledge still plays a role in my head whenever I go to a con today. Even though today I've completely let go of the taxidermy, basically my work is just painting and illustrating. It's mostly 2D and products that, feature my 2D work. But that thought remains the same. Like, if I don't sell it in 2 or 3 cons, it's not going to sell. So that really woke something up in me, because you can I think we've all made the beginner's mistake when you have your first art print and you order 50 of them.
Yes. Been there, done that.
Exactly. I still have prints, like the first generation art prints that I made. I'm like, even if, if I would give you money to take one of these prints, people would still not take it.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I'm right now exactly in this situation where I have just figured out, hey, wait, I'm doing like the same convention that I did last year. I'm doing it this year for the second time. And I'm realizing, oh wait, I haven't brought that much new stuff, and it shows. It influences your results, and I've just learned that the hard way.
It does, yeah. No, and I think we all learned that the hard way. I think this really is the experience that you have. You do a con once, twice, after the 4th or 5th time, exactly how the con works, who goes there, which people are interested in your work in the first place. And then, if they already have it, and there will come a time where people walk up to your booth, knowing that it's you, and, actively going out looking for something new of you because they are a fan. And I kind of love that. It's a good feeling, but all of that takes time to discover all these things.
Yes. Did you just say the 4th or 5th time you did the convention?
Oh, yeah. There are cons that I've done for like 8, 9, 10 times.
Right. Because I was honestly wondering, this is my 2nd year doing conventions. Like, when do you, well, quote unquote, give up on one? When is some con not for you? I'm still figuring that out. And I was thinking, if I've done it twice and it's been, not really a success 2 times, is it time to let it go or just try it again?
If you're enjoying this podcast and want to support what we do, head on over to patreon.com/sandybutchers. Members get early access to new content, and higher tier supporters can join the Mail Club, where I send out exclusive art loot up to 4 times per year. It's a great way to get some unique physical goodies while helping keep the podcast going. Check it out at patreon.com/sandybutchers. And thanks for your support. Let's get back to the show. I think you have to start defining your success first. And you know what? This ties in seamlessly with the question that Gibby left for you in the previous episode. He asked, so for the listeners, viewers, something that I started doing is pass along a question. So in last episode, I started this with Gibby, and he had to come up with a question for whoever was going to be the next guest artist. So in this case, this is Bubs. And he asked you, what is your personal definition of success as an artist? Or when do you consider your journey as an artist fulfilled? Let's start there.
Yes, well, it's a really big question. I have thought about it because, well, I was preparing for this interview. No, I'm kidding. So I think a very big thing in being successful as an artist is being free to do what you love, rather than making stuff because you think your audience will like it. So I think it's very important that it comes from the heart, from your passion, and you're making something because you put a little bit of yourself in it. But you have to be successful. I feel like you have to have the freedom to do that. So
yeah, just be free to create.
Yeah, and I think a big part of it is actually also being financially independent. I was a little bit hesitant, like, you don't want to, if I want to say it like this, because money is, it's a bit difficult to...
Obviously not the most important thing in life. No, I get that.
I mean, yeah, that's the whole thing. I don't want it to be an important thing in my life, but I do realize that it gives so much freedom when you're financially independent as an artist. But I don't want to put too much importance on it. But still, I think...
Yeah, it's a very thin balance, I think.
Yeah. So for me, I am renting a studio space where I have my business. So I go there for drawing, but I also keep a lot of stuff there. So even though I've only had my business for 2 years, I'm already renting a studio space because it feels professional and, well, I digress. So I was thinking, if my business is self-sustaining, so I can pay my rent and I can do new supplies, I can order new supplies, and it's self-sustaining. I don't have to put any more money into it than I get out of it. Then that's for me already kind of a success. That's like the start. And then
but that's great though.
Yeah, it would be nicer to have a little bit of a buffer so I can make more free work instead of focusing on products again. But yeah, it's a start.
No, and I think, I mean, first of all, it's a wonderful answer, and one that I really feel, because to me personally, like the more I find people liking my work, people buying my work, the more I tend to sort of cater into that. And there have been moments where, and I've talked about this many times, where it really feels like you're sometimes struggling between working for the algorithm, because that's where people start buying your stuff and you can have that financial independence, and just wanting to create something that you want to create as an artist, which then ultimately often leads to the work selling as well, because it came from the heart, like you said. So it's a very interesting dynamic between being creative as an artist, but also making a living out of it, but not really emphasizing the making the living out of it, because you just want to be you. You want to do you. And I love how this answer reflects into the whole matter of, conventions, and basically where we left off, before we went into this question. You said, how do you decide to give a con another shot if it's not successful? And then I said, first you got to define, what makes a convention successful. And I think that's what it's all about. If you decide that the success of a convention is, earn back the investment of the con, so earn back your table money, and hopefully, your travel expenses, and maybe a bit of or basically just break even. If that's your goal and you can get that done at a convention, awesome. If your goal is to make a living of your art and you have to triple the investment, to make a living, then that's your success. So I mean, what is it for you? What defines the success of a convention for you?
Yeah, I don't really have for myself the most clear answer to that yet, because I've only been doing it for 2 years. So right now I'm still figuring it out. What is a successful convention? So after a convention, I always check in with myself, like, how do I feel? Am I content? Am I disappointed? Am I happy? Am I proud of myself? So I try to feel how I feel, rather than just feeling tired, because conventions are very tiring and they take so much energy. Oh my God. So yeah, that's the first thing. And then I feel like I try to feel how I feel.
It's funny you mentioned this, because I talked about this with Gibby once before, where I used to be able to go to a convention and then come back home, go back to work the next day. And I'm getting too old for that shit.
That's crazy. No. I would never. I'm 31 right now, but I couldn't anymore. It's too much energy.
I'm 37 and I come home, I hit the couch and I'm dead.
Yeah. Okay, so me too. But what you just said, break even on a con and earn back your table money. I think that's been my unconscious goal right now, to just break even with the table money. And then right now I'm thinking, okay, but I also, I spent some money on gas to get here, and then I had to, there's extra costs that come there. So it would be more successful if I also gain those back. But still, there's also been a con actually last year in the fall, where I lost a bit of money. I think it was about 150 euros loss or something.
Still,
so
it's a big loss.
Big, but still.
No, it is.
Yeah. It's also because I booked a hotel next to it, so and
Yeah,
I
okay.
counted it in the so okay, it's not completely fair. Anyway, it was a very calm con, but I had a lot of fun, and I was networking, and I made a lot of new friends actually, and so I did feel very positive after that because of the experience, I think. And it was also there were a lot of fun things to do. I learned a lot. I just didn't sell much, but it was still a success.
And did you get a lot of commissions afterwards, do you think, coming from the con?
I was very hopeful I would get some, but no.
But no, crickets.
No, I didn't
because
get
sometimes
anything.
that happens too, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you make zero bucks at a con, and then like the next 2 weeks after, you get all these people contacting you like, hey, I saw you at whatever con, and I would like to commission you for work. And then basically, that pays back for the investment of the convention. So sometimes there's like a delayed income, but I mean, it's obviously it's not always the case. And it's always a bit, it can either go really well or you don't make it.
Yeah, that's true. That actually only happened once so far with all the conventions I did. I only got one.
Was it the one in Amsterdam?
No. No, it was...
Because you and I were there. We were both there, right? In Amsterdam, the one at the start of this year.
No, I have never done a
We
con
were
in
not?
Amsterdam.
No. That was someone else. Why? I'm so sorry. I keep confusing you with someone
That's
else.
okay.
And I think you both really... I'm sorry.
No worries. No.
We'll edit this out. This did not happen.
No, it's okay. But you talked about this in the last podcast I listened to for you, that sometimes you get a lot of commissions out of conventions. But yeah, that only happened to me once. And I'm still finding my place in that, in how I can... How do I get commissions out of cons? I don't know yet, because the most concrete thing I offer at conventions are pet portraits. I do a lot of pet portraits in watercolor. It's mostly cats and dogs, but I'm really looking to do more pets. Like, I want to do rats and snakes and whatever. Every pet is welcome.
Just whatever people have.
But that's very concrete, you know.
But do you actively market that on your booth as well?
A little bit. I have flyers, and I have a real life example. I brought the original painting of a dog painting that I did, so people can really see the details in the work and not just the print of it. I think that's really important to have the original artwork to show my skills. But I don't really tell people when I'm doing a con. You know, it's very when you're running a booth, it's important to make contact with people, and you are selling your work a little bit. You're making a connection. You're trying to sell your work a little bit, but I don't really do that for pet portraits.
You're so modest.
Yeah,
you're so modest.
But
you know what? When you're in a booth, the only thing that actually matters is, okay, first of all, let's say have fun,
yes.
And the second thing is sell your stuff.
Yes, I just get distracted by stuff. I do a lot of fan art as well, and then someone is looking at a piece of fan art that I made, and I just instantly say, "Oh, did you also play this game? Yeah, well, I loved it too." And then we just talk about the game instead of I should promote my work. But
well, and you know what? And the chat, the talk about the game is a fundamental part of making that connection.
Yeah,
but
that's
ultimately
true.
What you want to do is like gently guide people to like, yeah, so do you like what I wear? I made this one because la 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 la. You know, I mean, and I. I'm gonna go all out. I have no secrets, but one of the things that I often say in my booth, when something like this happens, when you go into like a full-blown conversation with someone, is that in the end I kind of close out with, the question is, do you have the wall space? And then you immediately come back into this. It's like a sales pitch, basically. And then, it's, if done well, people don't really notice.
Uh-huh.
if the conversation is well enough, they will just like, yeah, I have so much stuff on my walls, or it's like, oh, you know what, maybe in the stairway, or like they will start thinking about, they will start picturing the image into their house, and then maybe the conversation takes a little turn that way, and then maybe ultimately the answer is no, I don't really have the space and I don't care, and they just keep walking. On the other hand, the other side of the medal is they do have space, and actually they're super interested because they love your enthusiasm about the work so much. And that's something that I've really, really come to learn in all these years of conventions. Most of the time, it's not even about how much they like your work. It is about how much they like your passion of the work.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Yeah, that's actually very nice. I was thinking it's a really nice trick. It's not really a trick. It's just a conversation starter of asking people if they have wall space. Yeah. I really like that.
I mean, you studied communication. And we should know this.
I know, but we don't learn this stuff.
No, I know. And you know what? And I only learned this stuff because I've been throwing spaghetti at walls for over 15 years.
Yeah.
And right now I have like this full pasta bolognese on my wall. I'm like, I can look at it and go, you know what? Maybe today is time for a pasta carbonara. Who knows? And then I have all the ingredients I need on my wall, and I can like jumble things up a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's me and my wild metaphor.
That's a very nice metaphor.
Oh, imagine just my wide wall. No, sorry, I'm going to stop there. Anyway, so conventions are, I think, a very important part of your marketing as an artist. I don't think it has to be the most important thing, of making a living as an artist. I think there are many, many other ways you can do it, but I've really come to learn that they make up a big chunk of what I earn as an artist. And I don't know, I guess everyone's journey is different than that. And, when I hear you speak, I think it's completely different for you as well.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say it makes up a large portion of my revenue yet, but I would like it to get that far. I'm just still really figuring out what cons really fit me and what's my audience. I'm still, it feels, I'm just starting, actually. I've been doing this for 2 years. Cons.
You are throwing spaghetti right now. Yeah.
Yes. That's why I like the metaphor, because I relate to it. I am throwing spaghetti. So I'm so in the mind space of still figuring it out. And do I want to do this con next year again? I'm going to do a big con next year, actually, with pretty high table costs, which is a bit scary, but...
Which one is that?
Pixie Fest.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do it. So it's the second edition next year?
No, the first edition. Pixie Fest is the first edition next year.
Oh, no, wait. Yes, so that makes it even more scary. Sorry, I'm also kind of scrambling up these cons because I'm still new at it. But that's a risk because it's a first edition and the table costs are, higher than I'm used to. I think I can say that. So yeah, that's exciting, but also scary. But it feels like I'm still so early in trying things out and again, finding my audience, finding, I don't even know what table size I prefer. Do I like 1 meter? Do I like 2 meters? Sometimes it's
get
even
the full
bigger than
4
that.
meter market booth. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still so much figuring it out that I think there will be a point if I continue doing this, because so far I like it. If it continues to be fun, I will hopefully in a few years have a better view of which markets work for me, which cons work for me. And yeah, I hope that it's going to be a big chunk of my income then too.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of figuring out. It's also, and I'm also still thinking, I think I prefer like singular day conventions.
Oh, really?
Most of them are 2 days or even
2 or 3 days, yeah.
But I think right now they are too intense for me energy-wise, so I just really like having it in one day.
Yeah, one of the questions that I had lined up about this, concerning the whole, it's exhausting and it's it's very anxiety ridden, is on a scale of 1 to Sandy Butchers, and 1 being I'm super chill, whatever happens, and Sandy Butchers being I have heart palpitations and high blood pressure like 2 days before the con. I go there, I don't know what I'm doing, but I get it done, and I only chill once everything is built down. Where on that scale are you?
That's a very good question. It honestly depends on the day. I could be on either part of the scale. I could be super chill and I could be thinking, no, I got this, it's fine, all my work is fine. What am I even stressed about? And then I just go with that mindset to do a con. But it can also be the other way around, where I'm like, no, I should have made so much new work and I only have old work and I need this place and I need this and I need lighting for my booth. And I'm scrambling and doing things last minute. So, and I also don't really know where the difference comes from. How can I go more in the chill mode? It could go either way. It's also very tiring.
It is, yeah, it's exhausting. Like the cons where you're just chill when you, like, we have one here, it's the Novio Magica here in Nijmegen.
Yes.
It's like
I've done that one twice now.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. It's one of my best-selling events in a year. I think my revenue from that con beats every single event that I do in the whole year. So that one is really, really one of my favorites. Not because I just earn a lot of money there, but also because the atmosphere, the location is just fucking amazing. The only thing that really gives me stress there is the drive through the city center of Nijmegen. So I always say I bring my husband to drive me there, but he's not just coming with me because he has to drive me there. I want to really emphasize, like, I bring him with me because I love him, and it's always, a good thing to have him in my booth. Plus we need extra hands because it's just so busy. But I always ask him to drive me because I don't want to drive to the city center. But that con, I am completely chill on that con. I know exactly what to do. I know how to do my things. I know how to set up. I just go there and it's autopilot all the way. And I come home and I'm super chill. The funny thing is, this weekend is Castlefest. Like I said, it's like one of the biggest cons that we have here in the Netherlands. And I'm a guest. I'm not even a vendor. I'm a guest at one of the publishers because it will be the release party of my brand new Dutch translation of my book, which is, yay, very awesome and exciting. But I have never been...
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I've never been this nervous for a con. I'm like, what do I do? Everything is out of my hands. I cannot prepare anything. I can't bring anything. I don't have to set up or build anything. All I have to do is show up, be there, smile, and be polite. And I am so incredibly fucked up nervous about this. I cannot tell you why. It's weird.
Yeah, it makes sense though, actually, because you've been doing cons for so many years, but this is, the first release party you're having, as you said. And so let's say you're doing the con, you're doing a conversation about, I don't know, you cannot really fall back to your...
No. The rest of my work, all I have there is that one single book, and normally I have 4 meters of booth to cover. If you don't like this, I can always send you to this, or maybe this is more your taste. And now I have this one book, and what do I do? I mean, there's one thing you don't ask any author: it's what's your book about? And people are going to ask me what the book is about all weekend, and I don't know what to say. I'm nervous.
Oh yeah. No, it does make sense. You cannot really fall back to the known tips and tricks that you could usually. So if you're running a booth and you're overwhelmed, there's always a few tricks you can fall back to. Or what I just said, you can talk about the games that you like, that maybe your art is inspired on. That's a kind of a cop-out. If you're overwhelmed, you can just
start talking about games.
I know, but you cannot really do it with this book. So your nerves are very understandable.
I kind of appreciate that,
But you're going to crush it anyway.
Maybe,
I'm sure
I don't know. We'll see. Well, I don't know. I don't have a gut feeling yet. My gut feeling right now says you're gonna make a total mess of things. You're gonna weep at the end. But on the other hand, there's this little voice of experience says, you'll be fine. And if I end up somewhere in the middle between fine and made an utter mess of myself, you know what? It is what it is. In any case, I'm very, very much looking forward to just being there with all my friends and all my writing colleagues, and it's going to be a wonderful weekend, no matter what. But yeah, I just have to push down the nerves a little bit, I guess.
Yes. And I'm sure it's going to be fun. And even when it's not fun and it's stressful, then at least you're going to learn something from it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If anything, it will be a learning experience. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? We have already been talking for almost 45 minutes. Can you believe it?
Yes.
Oh, you can't believe
I
it.
just looked at the time. And I was like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
Did we even talk about conventions that much?
No, we have. We have been talking about conventions all the freaking time.
Yeah.
So don't worry. I think we should feel good about, having covered the subject. But one of the other things is, and, we did that a little bit before when Gibby left you a question. But right now it is your turn to leave a question for whoever is the next guest artist. So I hope you have prepared something.
Yes, I thought about something. So I think it's very important that art comes from the heart, as we talked about, and it comes from a place of passion and something that really inspires you. So I hope to put that into my art as well. Like, I really love the magic stuff and mystical things, and I try to put a little bit of magic of every day into my art. And I would really like to know, like, what inspires you as an artist, and inspiration in the way of what really sparks your interest. Where does your passion come from, and how do you put it into inspiration to put in your art?
That's an interesting question. It's basically you're asking what lights up the spark, and how do you translate that spark into your work?
Yes. So inspiration it could be an easy answer to say, oh, I like to watch a certain kind of movie that inspires me, but yeah, I want to dig a little bit deeper. What inspires you as an artist?
Yeah, like how do you turn that into something productive?
Yeah.
Because obviously getting inspired is one thing, but then doing something with that inspiration is the next thing. And I think it's a very, very cool question, and I cannot wait to find out what the next person has to say about this.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about inspiration, and maybe it can inspire me again.
Exactly. I mean, this is how it all works. Like, and this is basically just the bottom line of the podcast is hopefully we can inspire some people.
Yes.
Tell us about where we can find you. What are your socials? Do you have a website? This is your moment to shine.
Yes. Okay. So, my company is called Drakenlicht Illustraties. The Instagram handle is the same, Drakenlicht Illustraties. I do have a own website, which has my web shop as well. And you can find my products in the Zilveren Vos, the store in Den Bosch, where I know Sandy from. And I also have my products in Books and Beans for a little while longer. And that's it. Yeah, so basically online and in 2 stores.
And the website is drakenlichtillustraties.nl or
Yes.
.com? Okay, .nl. Perfect. I will be sure to include all the links in the description down below. Is there anything that we want to know from the audiences listening?
Ooh.
What's your favorite con?
Yeah.
It could be a question. I mean, that's the most easiest question to ask right now. Like, what's your favorite convention here in the Netherlands?
I would love to know that from the audience. Yes, that's a good one.
Me too.
Yeah.
So drop that in the comments, everybody. Let us know what is your favorite fantasy or, sci-fi, a kind of fantasy-related convention here in the Netherlands. I'm pretty sure we have so many of them. There should be a whole list, appearing in that comment section. We've really reached the end of the episode, so thank you all for watching and for listening if you're on Spotify. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is your opportunity to do so. So hit that like and subscribe button, or again, if you're on Spotify, just be sure to follow us. Babs, I thank you so much for joining me on the conversation. I had a blast.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed myself too.
Awesome. And you know what? I feel like this is... You're one of these artists that I'm gonna give a call in like 6 months or so, and then ask, hey, how's it going? What's the evolution? How are things going? So if you're open to it, I would love to have you back on the show at some point.
Yes, very much. That would be fun. Let's keep in touch.
Cool. We will. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.